Hello, first graders. Happy Monday and welcome back. I am so excited to have you here with me. How was your break? Was it good? Yeah, it was good. It was good to just kind of relax a little bit, step away from the computer a bit, hang with your family. And now we're going to get back into the school routine, okay, in our Zoom school. So this week I want to review what we've been learning these past months, and then we'll start learning some new things, okay, for reading. So I'm going to share my screen right now. Let me see if I can get there. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, there's our welcome back right now. Let me present it. Okay. So welcome back. Happy New Year. It's 2021, 2021. It is a new year, but you are still first graders. I had a few students who were a little confused if I said, hey, I'm going to see you next year. We're not talking second graders. You still have a lot of first grade left. Okay. So first grade story detectives. Here we are. Okay. We are going to review our story elements, our parts of the story that make it a story. We have characters and setting and problem and solution. Do you remember what characters are? Yeah, they're person, they're people, they're animals, or even things, but they talk or they feel or they act or they change or they think. The characters say in the pigeon, he's an animal, but he's a main character because he does all those things. Do you see that one where it says the missing chalk drawings? They're things. They were chalk, right? But in that story, they came alive. So they had feelings, they were acting, they were changing, they were thinking, they were talking to each other. So that made them characters in the story, even though they weren't a person or an animal. And then this little guy on the right, that's if you remember the story, the night of the veggie monster. Yeah, that boy right there, right? He didn't want to eat his veggies and he was so dramatic about it. He's a kid, he's a person, right? And he did all those things. He did change too towards the end, remember? He actually ate the vegetables. Okay, so characters, they're in the stories. Some of them are main, meaning they're more important. They're more in the story. And some are just have little parts in it. Okay, the setting, where the story takes place, right? You could have, say, I have the woods here, one scene. What does that look like in that middle? Yeah, like a classroom. And then how about the one on the right? Yeah, maybe a park. Maybe the story's taking place in the park. If I was in a story right now, where is my story taking place? Yeah, at my house. Your story's taking place at your house too, or maybe you're at daycare somewhere, but it's inside, right? We're on Zoom school, right? So this is my house. Problem. What went wrong in the story, right? What needs to be fixed or it needs to be changed? Or sometimes the characters realize that the problem, right, was super big, but then they realize it wasn't that big of a deal. And that's kind of their problem right there. But what went wrong? Now, I don't know if you remember the story about Piggy and Gerald and the snake. And the snake was trying to play, right? And the major problem right here was, remember, he was like, I don't have arms. How can I play? And that was the problem. So here they're trying to throw a bunch of balls at him to catch, and he can't do it. He doesn't have arms. So that was a major problem in the story. They wanted to all play together, but the problem was he couldn't play how they were. Solution. Do you remember what that is? It's kind of a big word. It's how the problem is solved, how it gets fixed, right? So if you remember this story, look at this picture right here. How was their problem solved? Could they still play catch? Yeah, they're still playing catch. Now it's a little bit different. They're not playing catch with a ball. They're playing catch with the snake, right? He was able to play catch with the snake. They were all able to play together, right? So they changed. They changed their problem. They fixed it. And they're like, you know what? Let's get rid of the ball. You can be the ball and we'll just play back and forth with you. And they both had a great time. And it says, I love playing catch with my friends. So most stories, I'm not going to say every story is a problem, but most stories have a problem and it's fixed by the characters, or over time they realize it wasn't that big of a deal. Okay. So in our next story that we're going to read, first, I'm going to tell you though, the story that we're going to read, if you can see me right here, it's called Squirrel's New Year's Resolution. And I'll get big again so you can really see the pictures. But I just want to talk about what a New Year's resolution is. Now, resolution, that's a big word. Can you say it? Resolution. Yeah, it almost has solution in it, right? For our problem and our solution, a resolution. And a lot of people like to do it for New Year's, like the new year, new me, right? A resolution is something you want to improve on or change in your life for the better. Now, I put some examples here, and they can be small, but it might be saying, hey, this is a new year for me. I'm going to make a change for the better. Maybe you can say I love you more to your family, or say I'm sorry more. Sometimes it's hard to just say I'm sorry and say when you're wrong. Or clean your room more, right? Keep it clean. That could be a New Year's resolution for you. Or how about share with your brother or sister more, right? Or maybe complain less when eating veggies. Don't turn into a veggie monster like our character in the beforehand, right? There's lots of things that you can kind of do better in. So the New Year's resolution, it's kind of goes with our problem and solution. You had kind of a problem and you want to make it for the better. You want to change a New Year's resolution. So I'm going to stop sharing real quick and I'm going to be here. And I want to read the story called Squirrel's New Year's Resolution. Okay. He is going to be our main character here, and we're going to read to find out. And we're going to talk about our characters, our setting, our problem, and our solution. Or maybe it's going to be the resolution. Okay. So, this story is by, oh no, my sticker is blocking it. Kathy Ember, I think it says. So, Squirrel's New Year's Resolution. Okay. Here we are. I haven't done this in a little bit, so I got to get back into it. Squirrel pinned up her brand new Nut of the Month calendar. It's January 1st, the radio said, a great day to make a resolution. Like I said, new year, new me, right? You're going to make something for the better. So there's Squirrel. Now, if you had to guess where the setting is right now, where it's taken place, where do you think it is? Yeah, her house probably, right? And her house is actually looks like it's in a tree. Yeah, she's a squirrel, right? Make a resolution, wondered Squirrel. How do you do that? Bear might know. She went to see Bear at Lonewood Library. Happy New Year, he said. Same to you, Bear. Do you know how to make a resolution? Is it like making a snack? Bear laughed. Resolutions are more important than snacks. More important than snacks, said Squirrel. What is a resolution? There's Bear at the library. So there's the setting. It changed. Remember, settings can change in a story. That's okay. And we have a new character, Bear. A resolution is a promise you make to yourself to be better or to help others. When we begin a new year, we make a fresh start. Wow, did you make a resolution? Asked Squirrel. I did, Bear answered. I resolved to teach others how to read. I'm going to teach Skunk as soon as she gets well. Oh no, Skunk is still sick, Squirrel thought, as she hurried to Skunk's house for a visit. She forgot all about making a resolution. Skunk was sick of being sick. I'm stuck in bed until Dr. Owl says I'm better, said Skunk. I would rather be learning to read. That's my New Year's resolution. Okay, so we have another new character here, right? And they're at Skunk's house. Skunk wants to learn how to read. That's her new resolution. Cool. That could be some of yours, right? And Bear wants to teach her how to do it. That's his New Year's resolution, kind of helping Skunk. Squirrel knew how to cheer up her friend. She hid at the foot of the bed. She popped up and shouted, "Boo!" Skunk giggled. Hide and Skunk was her favorite game. Squirrel popped up again. Boo! And again, boo! By now, Skunk was laughing hard. Just then, Dr. Owl came by. Skunk, I can tell by your laughter that you are feeling much better, he said. Now you can go visit Bear. Just make sure you have a healthy lunch first. All right, so she was feeling better. And Skunk kind of helped, Squirrel kind of helped her do that. Lunch, thought Squirrel. She headed toward the Hidey Hole Diner. Maybe someone there can help me with my resolution. On her way there, she met Mole and Turtle. Mole was holding a map close to his nose. What are you doing? Asked Squirrel. Turtle and I resolved to plant a garden, said Mole, but I can't find a good place to dig with all these trees. So they're going to make a garden for their New Year's resolution. Wait here. And Squirrel said Squirrel. She dashed up an oak tree and looked down. She spied Wildcat Creek and on its bank a perfect place for a garden. Squirrel scampered down and led Mole and Turtle through the woods to the edge of the creek. She helped them stake out string for the borders of the garden. Thanks, Squirrel. I'll start digging right after lunch. Lunch, thought Squirrel. As she rushed away, she still hadn't thought of a resolution. At the diner, Squirrel chose a stool next to Porcupine. He looked grumpy. Hey, what's wrong? Asked Squirrel. I resolved to be less grumpy, so I'm laughing more, but I can't think of anything funny. Porcupine. Oh, I can help you think of something funny. Like, why did the squirrel run back and forth across the road? I don't know. Why? Asked Porcupine. Because she was nuts, laughed Squirrel. Porcupine laughed too. I get it. That reminds me, what's striped and bouncy? Tell me, giggled Squirrel. Skunk on a trampoline, said Porcupine. Squirrel laughed herself right off the stool. Porcupine said, that's a good one. I better write these down. Off he went to find paper and pencil. I like the squirrel was nuts one, running back and forth. Squirrel felt left out. Porcupine has a resolution, so does Bear and Skunk and Mole and Turtle, she thought. I'm the only animal in the forest who hasn't made a New Year's resolution. There's our problem, right? Problem is something that's going wrong, right? Something that needs to be fixed. What's going wrong for Squirrel is she thinks she doesn't have a New Year's resolution. She can't come up with one, right? So she's like, oh, everyone has one but me. Rabbit came to take Squirrel's order. Would you like to try my New Year's special? Asked Rabbit. Sure, said Squirrel. Maybe it'll help me make a resolution. I wish I knew how. Think of a way to improve yourself or a way to use what you're good at to help others, said Rabbit. Squirrel ate her lunch special and thought hard. All right, so she's thinking, right? How can I help others? Or how can I be better? Just then, Skunk came in. I need a healthy lunch. Thanks to Squirrel, I'm feeling better. Ooh, sit with me, Skunk, Bear called. I see you brought our first book. Okay, so good. They can now read with each other. Turtle and Mole came in next. What do you have for two thirsty animals who just started a garden? Squirrel found a terrific place for it, said Turtle. All right, so Squirrel helped Skunk, and she helped Turtle and Mole. Porcupine hurried in. Oh boy, here's a joke. Do you know why Bear said, caw, caw? Before anyone could answer, Porcupine said, he was learning another language. All the animals laughed. I didn't know you were so funny, said Mole. Me either, said Porcupine. Squirrel got me started. Ooh, Squirrel helped Porcupine too, right? Rabbit said to Squirrel, you're doing a good job on your resolution. What? I didn't know I had one. I don't have one yet. What do you mean? Your actions are better than words. It looks like you resolved to help someone every day, said Rabbit. Oh, he didn't even really think of that, right? He has been helping people. Really? Asked Squirrel. I did it. I made my very first resolution. Hooray for Squirrel! Shouted all the animals. She seemed like a very good helping friend already. It was going to be a very happy new year. I resolved to help someone every day. That's a great one. I really like that one. But there. How? Okay. All right. So remember we talked about, we knew the characters and the setting changed, but the problem was Squirrel didn't have a New Year's resolution. How was it solved? How did we find our solution? Yeah, she didn't realize she actually had a New Year's resolution. She already had one. She was already doing it. And I liked what Rabbit said. Your actions are like better than your words, right? Like you didn't know you had a New Year's resolution, but you're already doing all the things towards it. She was already helping everybody in every way that she could. And that's really awesome. So that was her New Year's resolution now that she realized it. So that problem was solved because she just kind of had to realize she was already doing that. So I think in maybe in writing what you're going to do this new year, or socialists might talk about more about New Year's resolutions, but you know what that means, right? How you can change for the better. What are you going to do to improve, right? And it can be just as simple as, remember I said sharing more, or just saying I love you more. That can go a long way. All right, well, I'm so glad I got to see you here. Oh, I'm giving you all air hugs. Welcome back. And this week we'll continue to review what we've been learning, okay? All right, have a great day. Make sure you check out all the other teachers' classrooms because they have missed you too.